evening. Assalamualaikum. Welcome to all. Thank you very much for joining our program. Once again, on behalf of Teen Empowerment Club, we would like to welcome you all for a wonderful session of this evening. And to start the session, I would like to invite our respected brother Sulaiman Patel from South Africa to inaugurate the session with official welcome the guest and our organization. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and good evening to one and all. Teen Empowerment Club is there to help young people understand the world around them. They are there to advise young people what their future, to talk about the past, and even help them with the present. The beneficial outcomes to teen empowerment programs are improved social skills, improved behavior, increased academic achievement, increased self-esteem, and increased self-efficiency. Now I would like to introduce our guest speaker for this evening, Mr. Miethig. Mr. Miethig is German architect and project manager with almost 20 years of experience in the fields of design, project management, and site supervision, as well as expertise in material resource management and training. Entrepreneur and founder of WAISTE, that is Material Resource Management, was all living in the Middle East for more than 15 years since 2007, and is currently based in Bahrain. Passionate about environmental awareness and material resource management, being involved in various projects related to material resource management in the region. He's also a speaker in conferences on environmental awareness, development of a training program to enhance knowledge and local capacities on material resource management, as well as supporting environmental initiatives like Clean Up Bahrain, Bahrain Diving Volunteer Team, or the Environmental Rooftop Home Project. On behalf of Teen Empowerment Club and all of us, I take this opportunity to request our honorable speaker, Mr. Kai, to deliver valuable presentation. Thank you, and Jazakallah khairan to all that are present this evening.
Thank you very much, Brother Sulaiman Patel. Thank you so much for your wonderful introduction. And now we would like to invite our guest speaker, Mr. Kai, to continue the session. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yeah, thank you very much, Teen Empowerment Club, for giving me the honor and the opportunity to share some experience and knowledge and information about plastic. I will share now the screen. You just need to enable me to share the screen, please.
Yeah, it's done. It's done.
Done? Okay. Okay, very good.
Just for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Done.
Then you have to make full set.
Yes.
One second.
We are seeing your
Okay, can you see the screen, everyone?
Yes. Your screen, yes.
Yeah, everybody can see the screen?
Yes, we are seeing your screen.
Okay. Can you hear me as well clearly?
Yes, we are seeing you and the screen also, yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. So thanks again to Teen Empowerment Club and Mr. Zaid. So I want to share some information about plastic. Is it a blessing or is it a curse? You know, for a lot of people, they are not sure what is what. But at the end, we need to see now what is plastic? Is it a blessing or a curse? So now we need to see why the slide is not moving. We're not sure why the slide is not moving. No, what happened?
If you want, you can quit and re-enter.
Yeah, because the slide now is showing, but I don't know why it's. Now it's the next one. Maybe I will do it like this. Then again, first the question is, what is plastic? You can see the slide, right?
Yes, we are seeing.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. So what is plastic? Plastic is actually a material consisting of a wide range of synthetic or semi-synthetic organic compounds. We all hopefully know that plastic is actually derived from oil. So everything is actually based from nature, but a different kind of combination. And the term plastic is derived from the Greek word plastikos, which means actually fit for molding. So which means you can shape it actually in each kind of a structure or form, and this refers to the material malleability or plasticity during the manufacturing process. You know, you can put it into pipes, you can make bowls out of it, you make bottles out of it, it can be extruded, it can be compressed. So you have got some films, you have the sticker and all this kind of stuff, bottles, boxes, and these things are all actually made from plastic, but with a different kind of components. So in general, we diversify or we differentiate between 7 types of plastic, which have as well a numbering system. And when you check sometimes your plastic bottle or some yogurt cups or something like this, you will find usually on the bottom of the cup of the bottle these kind of logos, which you can see here with the different kind of numbers. And these are the different types of plastic, which is the number 1 is PETE, which is polyethylene terephthalate, PETE or PET, and this is also very common in Europe, where it's the PET bottles, which are then as well for recycling. Then we have got the number 2, HDPE, which is a high density polyethylene, HDPE number 2, which is also recyclable. This is actually what you have usually at the bottle caps, which is very strong plastic material. Then the polyvinyl chloride, PVC, it's recyclable with limits, and PVC, we know sometimes the PVC flooring and these things. And then we have as well the low density polyethylene, LDPE, which is as well recyclable with limits, which is usually the plastic foils, the plastic bags, and or the labels of the bottles and these things is all LDPE. Then we have got polypropylene, which is PP, polystyrene or styrofoam, which we know as well from the packing industry, as this is not recyclable, actually, because this is like extruded material. And then different other kind of plastics, which is called MP, miscellaneous plastics. It's also not recyclable. It's polycarbonate, polyazide, acrylic, acrylic, butadiene, and styrene, fiberglass. You know, fiberglass, for example, from the Formula One, or a lot of kind of covers for cars as well are made from fiberglass. they are not possible to recycle. As well, like nylon, which we know, like nylon is actually, unfortunately, the product where you have a lot of fishing nets. The fishing wire is mainly nylon because it's very, very strong, very durable, but unfortunately not really recyclable. Please, whenever you have questions, just throw your questions, so we will answer it in between. So it should be more an interactive session rather than only giving me some information. So whenever you have a question to the types of plastic or whatever comes into your mind, please feel free to just throw the question either in the chat box, or I think your microphones are open. You just can ask me to stop, and then I will listen and refer to your question, please. Yeah. So please feel free. Just throw whatever you want into the discussion. So further from the 7 types of plastic, on the next page, or next slide, the plastic polymer, you can actually see, maybe not that clear, but these are all different kind of plastics which we will have in our life. You know, the bags, the bottle caps, the cutlery, some wires, synthetic clothes. You know, the sports dresses are mainly now not from cotton, they are from synthetic. Then the brushes, some parts of the car, obviously. And then in the laundry, the pipings, which we know from under the sink, for example. Then we have got as well some lamination, which is a foil, you know, the cover for the tinting the glass of the cars. The front shield, then of course the normal drink bottles, then other items, and as well for the ship industry. So there's a lot of things which are just different kind of mixture of the basic, which I said is made from oil, but with different kind of component, different kind of combination, and then you get these different kind of plastic polymers, which is actually the overall headline of all plastic. So the question is now, is plastic, actually I need to put it better this way, let me just see, now it's working, okay, very good. So here you can see again the overall, the resin I didn't mention there was paint. Usually paint has as well some mixtures of plastic inside. So now plastic is first of all very useful because it is not to distract from our daily life. Wherever we go, whatever we do, there is plastic involved. Is it a watch, some things on the desk, you know, the laptop, the mobile, your keychain, whatever you name it, in the kitchen, you have a lot of plastic cutlery and chopping board, sometimes from plastic. So plastic is very, very useful, and it's actually, we can see it in the bottles. Then we have got our shower gel in the bathroom, obviously, as well. Then, as I said, piping. If you look under your sink, you will find a lot of PVC pipes. Then, very famous as well, the packing in the food industry. Not to forget, to keep it fresh. Then we have got the containers, which we have usually in the kitchen and in the shelves to keep dry food. Then we have this foam board, which is usually used for protection. When we buy electronics, we will find a lot of these kind of things. And then at the end, everybody maybe knows it still, the DVDs and CDs. So we have a lot of different kind of plastic, which is very useful for our daily life. So with all respect, plastic is definitely useful, but plastic is as well everywhere. So is plastic as well as durable? So plastic is one of the longest lasting items the humankind developed. You know, usually we don't use it very long. The bottles, sometimes you're using only 1 minute. Shower gel, maybe 1 month. The piping, okay, a little bit longer, but the packing for the food items, only till we open it, use it, and then we throw it. So plastic is very durable, which is obviously an advantage. But is it a blessing? This people need to think about, because what comes after? Plastic is still useful after the usage, because once you use the bottles, once you use your shampoo, once you use your piping, the food packing, the containers, the foam, and DVDs. So everything still, there is still value inside. You know, we have different kind of technologies, and the three last one are actually the landfill, which is obviously the worst. Then we have the waste to energy, and literally all the plastic, as said, is made from oil, so there's still energy inside it, even though it's already used, but still it has value when it comes to waste to energy. And then obviously the third last option is for recycling. For recycling, we learned before, we have 7 different types of plastic, which need to have as well a grade of purity. Because if something is not pure, it has less value and it's more difficult to recycle. Like you have 95 gold and 80 gold. So the more value is with the 95 gold because it's more pure. You know, so the 80 gold is still, of course, has value, but less value than the more pure elements. And that's why segregation is very, very important in the household. And obviously, before recycling, we should try to avoid it because it's still everywhere. 95% of all plastic ever produced since mankind is still on the planet. Only in general, 5% of all plastic is recycled. So it's just a little fraction of that what we are producing on a daily basis is only recycled. So that's why plastic, even once we use it, we segregate it, it's still all over the planet, and actually it's all over the sea, all over the land. And when we go out, sometimes we unfortunately see the places polluted with plastic bottles, containers, and all this kind of stuff. So plastic, even after usage, is still durable, and this is one of the biggest problem. We're using it for a short time, and then still it remains forever on the planet. Because when the people say, oh, it will decompose in 400 or 500, 600 years, this is not true. Plastic will never decompose. It will just break down into small little tiny pieces, which is called microplastic. It will never disappear. It will never decompose. So that's why plastic is maybe a curse as well. It helps us, so it's a blessing. And on the other hand, it stays with us forever, so it's actually a curse at the end. So here, some facts. These are collected from Canada. So approximately in Canada, they're using 2.5 billion liters bottled water every year. Imagine 2.5 billion liters. Anyone in the audience has an idea how many bottles we use in Bahrain on a daily basis? Just throw them numbers. Just open the mic and then throw some numbers, please.
I first time know this.
Around 2,000?
Per day?
2,000 per day.
Okay. Who has some other figures? Just give me some numbers, please. Don't be shy.
10,000.
10,000, okay. We are increasing. Somebody else has more to offer? In Bahrain, we are roughly 1.5 million people. And as an average, a person has 6 bottles per day. So we're talking about 6 million bottles of water per day. And we're talking only about the water currently now. Okay, so imagine we have 6 million per day multiplied by 365. You know, this is a tremendous amount. So in Canada as well, they have 1 billion single-use plastic bags every year handed out to the customers. What do you think is the number handed out in Bahrain every year?
In chat box, Mr. Ahmed is saying 1 million in Bahrain. Did you see the chat box?
1 million plastic bags?
I think water bottle.
Yeah, well, we have water bottles in Bahrain, 6 million every day. Huh? So, and how many plastic bags every year?
1 million.
Okay, somebody else?
2.5 million.
Okay, some other numbers? It's approximately 50 million every year. Free plastic bags are given away by the different kind of supermarkets. And where they will end up? They will end up all in the landfill. Imagine 50 million bags every year going to the landfill and polluting the environment. So I can only urge everyone who's going for shopping, because when you go out, everybody is wearing shoes, correct? And everybody is wearing the dress and the pants. So when you go shopping, you never forget your wallet, you never forget your mobile. But why you don't take your shopping bags, the reusable shopping bags with you? Just try to make it a habit, and when you go out, just keep 2 or 3 reusable bags. When you go out for shopping, keep it in the car. I by myself, I have 3 in the car and 3 in the kitchen. So if I go somewhere and I want to buy something, I have always my bag with me. So I don't need any plastic bags from the supermarket, because I don't need it. And we don't need to support this free giveaways. So in Canada as well, they have 57 million of single-use plastic straws every day, which is 2 billion each year. And this, you can imagine, 2 billion plastic straws, which are completely unnecessary, because we have lips to drink with. And if you still want to have a straw, okay, I can really encourage you to get a stainless steel straw. This is very hygiene. You can easily clean it, and it's much more healthy than the single-use plastic straws. The single-use plastic straws, you never know, it's wrapped in paper, you don't know who touched it and these things. If you have your own straw with you in a small pocket, so you are very, very safe, plus you're saving the environment and doing something good. All over, every year, 8.3 billion metric tons of plastic went since ever to the ocean, which is approximately, now this 8 million metric tons, you know, this one is a figure from 2018, so we are increased now up to 10 million. So 10 million metric tons actually by 2020 are going to the ocean every year. And this is really, really a disaster, because as said, plastic will not decompose. It will just break down, even in the sea with the salty seawater, into small, small microplastic. So some other facts. As said, plastic is not only a curse, it has as well a blessing, because it gives in Europe, for example, 1.5 million people work. 60,000 companies and small and medium enterprises are involved into the plastic industry in Europe. And in Europe, it has a turnover of 320 billion euro. This was the figure from 2013. And obviously, there's also innovation coming, different kind of plastics, which is lighter, like the carbon fiber and all this kind of stuff, which is also related to health and safety, which is when you drive a car, so it's lighter, it's more safe. And obviously, that as well, you create a kind of economy surrounding this one. So plastic, when it was developed, it was actually developed in Sweden, and for the purpose of not chopping down trees for paper wrapping and paper bags. So now the blessing at this time of plastic became a curse nowadays, because at this time people thought about, oh, plastic is very fantastic, we can use it anytime, anywhere, but nobody thought about it, what will happen after the usage. So this is another problem. Then here we have some more facts of plastic, and what I like to highlight is actually this figure here on the right side. You know, you have a half liter of water, and the bottle consists of 2.5 liters. So you need actually 5 times the content to produce the bottle itself. So which means at the end, the bottle has actually more value than the water, than the content. So this is a very, very big issue. Another issue I want to highlight here on the left side, that bottled water is not really safer than tap water. The issue is a statistic from the World Health Organization done in March 2018. And they tested, I think, like 500 different kind of bottles in 10 different kind of countries, and for different kind of companies as well. And 93% of these bottles were leaching microfiber to the water. So in general, water need to be stored cold and dark. But literally what's happening in the Middle East, specifically in summer, the water is stored in the heat and very much exposed to sunlight, which is a totally contradiction to all the storage where how water in plastic bottles is supposed to be stored. So these are different kind of aspects which is related to your own health, and this is very important and very crucial in the future, because obviously right now you will not feel an impact, but in the future there are different kind of aspects. First of all, when it comes to our food chain, you know, we're throwing the things, the light bags and these things, the plastic cutlery, the bottles and these things, maybe not mandatory in the water, but because we are light, so there is obviously there's wind, and the wind will pull these things or push this and wave the things into the water. And then within the water, it will break down because of the salty water, the sea waves and all this kind of stuff. And then you will have the small fish or the shrimp. They will eat it. Of course, then the bigger fish will eat the smaller animals. The bigger fish, again, similar like the whale, it will eat all, because the whale has a big intake of water, and actually they're filtering out the small krill, the shrimps and these things, but same as well the microplastic, which as well the nylon, which is also breaking down, and we see it lately more and more, that so many ghost nets are in the sea, where either fish and animals get tangled or it breaks down, and then the fish will eat it. And then at the end, it comes to your plate, prepared, and then, which means to our body. Same actually applies then to birds and turtles, because they have a misconception. They think it's maybe a seafood, you know, then they will just eat it, and they cannot digest it, and either they will die or they will as well encounter different kind of breathing and digestion problems, and will pass away from this one. Because the plastic bag actually, when it swims, the white plastic bag swims in the water, it looks almost similar like a jellyfish. And jellyfish is one of the main food for the turtles. So there are a lot of things happening with the turtles. When they did testing all over the world, they figure out 200 turtles and different kind of locations, and every single turtle had already plastic inside the stomach. So it's very, very crucial what's happening all over the world. And as I said, plastic has not only an effect on the environment, it has as well an effect on the human health, because the toxic chemicals are leaching out, and they're found then in the plastic, in the blood and in the tissue of all of us. So then obviously this is a reason for cancer, birth defect, impaired immunity, disruption and other diseases. And every year, tens of thousands of whales, birds, and these things, they are killed from these plastic bag litter or the plastic litter in general, because, as I said, in the marine life, the plastic bags looks like jellyfish, and all fish, the whales, the turtles, they like to eat the jellyfish, but once they eat the plastic, they will die because it cannot be digested. And there's a lot of things when you just Google whale eats plastic, or even camel eats plastic, and these things, how horrible these animals are dying, because they just cannot digest, they just cannot eat anymore, and they die actually of hunger. So which is one of the worst deaths, I guess, you can imagine. So related to the human health, it can cause headache, dizziness, unconsciousness, irritation, vision failure, breathing difficulties, asthma, liver dysfunction, skin diseases. A lot of people have already skin diseases because of the pollution in the in the sea when you go swimming. Then, of course, lung problem, diarrhea, digestion problem, and as well the birth effect. So infertility rate goes down. So all these things are caused actually by microplastic. And I would like to ask you a question. How much plastic each of us is eating every week? How much gram? Give me a number.
Are we eating? You're asking about eating the plastic.
Yes.
Are we using? I mean.
Anyone? Any idea?
No idea.
Actually, we are eating almost a credit card every week, which is 5 gram approximately. This is mainly due to microplastic, obviously, but it's happening, you know. And imagine now you are in a restaurant. Nowadays they give this fantastic plastic cutlery, and you know the fork. Easily you will lose one of the spikes, and maybe you eat it already 2-3 gram. You know. So
What about vegetarian?
please, just open your mic.
What about vegetarian? Matlab,
Again, what, Mehdi?
vegetarian people.
Yeah, vegetarian people, even if you eat from the sea, now we have got a lot of these kind of diet plan companies and these things, and they deliver your food in what? It comes in multiple plastic containers. It doesn't actually matter because the plastic is always leaching microfibers to the food as well. Then you put your plastic box in the microwave, correct? And you open the small cup with the sauce, and you scratch a little bit, you know, to get more sauce out of the small cup. Plastic is plastic, you know. You will have a lot of small pieces coming up, even when you try to clean it, you know, with a scrubber. Okay, you will remove a little bit. It's not much, obviously, but all this is plastic, which will remain either in your body or causing some effects inside your body. So that's why it's to be very careful to deal with plastic, specifically also when it comes to the microwave and these things. People say, okay, it's safe to heat in the microwave. I honestly never put anything in plastic in the microwave. If I have food, I put it on porcelain plate, cover it with another porcelain plate, and then put it in the microwave. Porcelain is organic, natural, nothing will happen. So with plastic, always be careful. So here now some facts, and you know how long until it's gone is actually wrong. This headline is wrong because it's not that they are decomposing, they are just breaking down to small micro pieces. You know, when you see here the plastic bags 10 to 20 years, yes, you will not see it, but it will be microplastic. Glass is something else. Glass is actually natural. It's actually only heated, compressed and shaped sand, which is very organic. And glass, by the way, is very good for recycling. Glass actually always can be endless recycled. Similar like aluminium. You know, everybody is calling for collection of plastic. Aluminium and glass has a much higher value and can be much more easily collected. Same with the tin, you know, the cans when you have the canned food as well. I myself, I'm collecting the tins and the aluminium as well, the plastic, carton, and I do my composting in order to avoid these things going to the landfill or here as well to the sea. So when you say a plastic bottle takes 450 years to decompose, it's wrong. It just breaks down into micro pieces, and microplastic then eaten by the fish or even swallowed by us when we are going swimming. And this we all know. We found it a lot on the beaches as well. Disposable diapers, actually anything in life is disposable. You know, disposable mean only you can throw it away. And any item in the world, you can throw it away. So if you read somewhere, disposable gloves, disposable masks, disposable whatever, this is just nonsense, has nothing to do with environmental friendly product. anything in the world is disposable. This doesn't mean anything related to environmental friendly product. It's just nonsense wording from the beloved industry to make you buy disposable stuff. But this is actually very dangerous, because usually disposable diapers or disposable stuff, they consider it as single-use items. So please avoid getting disposable stuff, just go for reusable. Reusable or biodegradable is always much better than disposable. Disposable is really, really rubbish. Or now they have as well the wording, they call it oxo-degradable. Oxo-degradable is the same, because everything related to O2, which is our air to breathe, and the sunlight, oxo-degradable means it will break down in sunlight, which is actually as well any item in the world will break down, but to micro pieces. And oxo-degradable, again, is a fantastic wording from the industry to confuse the customer and make them feel, oh, I'm buying oxo-degradable stuff, so I'm environmental friendly. No way. This is all, sorry to say this one, but bullshit. So here we have the figures about the 10 top trash found in the world's ocean. This is also a statistic from an annual cleanup. So if we have smokers here, you are part of the problem, but you can be part of the solution. A lot of people think cigarettes are actually compostable, but the filters are actually microfibers, and once you finish the cigarette, this 1 centi or 1.5 centi is actually a toxic time bomb, because it's full of toxins and microfiber, so it has as well the side effect on your health. And the animals, mainly the birds, they misguide it as well for food, so they take it and they feed it to their baby chicken. So this is something very, very bad. Then everybody knows, obviously, the food wrappers from bonbons and small chocolates. This is also a big, big problem. You know, it comes packed and another in a big packing and maybe another big packing. So these food wrappers are a very, very big problem, because they fly away very easily, and it's very difficult actually as well to collect them. So also better to avoid this one. Same what we mentioned earlier. Plastic beverage bottles, then one big issue obviously as well, the plastic bags, then the caps. A lot of people, they're removing the caps and they throw it everywhere as well. When we do sometimes cleanups or on some areas, we find a lot of these caps. And as I said earlier, this is HDPE, which is high quality plastic. So why the hell you don't collect them and give it for a charity organization? For example, in Adlia, the Bahrain Association of the Parents and Friends of the Disabled, they collecting this one. Crown Industries is coming. They recycle this one. They give a share to the association. And once they have enough money, they buy a wheelchair for a special needy. So you help actually to prevent pollution of the environment. You're doing a good cause, and you keep it out from the environment, from the pollution. So you can do only good things. If you have to use really bottles and caps, please donate them for charity. They are based actually in Adlia. Then what you easily can avoid is cups, plates and cutlery. Just take your own stainless steel batch of cutlery, knife, fork and spoon with you, and then also a cup. I always take my either my reusable cup or my stainless steel cup with me. Very easy, very light. You know, we're carrying this one like 300-400 grams. Our cutlery maybe also 300-500 grams. So actually we can always carry it with us. Same what I said before related to the straws. Actually we don't need straws, because everybody has usually God-given lips, and if you want to drink pure, it tastes much better pure rather than through a plastic straw or even the paper straw, which are a little bit munchy. And if you really insist on this, take your own stainless steel straw, use it, rinse it, clean it, and you do a big favor to the world, because the straws, they are causing also a lot of danger to the animals. Then the glass bottles, they are not meant to be thrown in the nature. Luckily, as said, they are made from sand. So if they're really properly crushed, they are ending up actually as sand. So this is not the biggest issue, but actually throwing glass, broken glass is very dangerous, not only for animals, as well for beachgoers when they cut the legs and these kind of stuff. So very, very, very bad. Then we have as well the beverage cans as well, very good for recycling. Aluminium can be almost endless recycled. And I see a lot of people who still have the food containers, it's empty, they just throw it. Okay, rinse it, clean it, squeeze it, collect it, and give it for charity. So I do always, when I have my bag in my car, when it's full, I give it to the guy, the scavengers on the road. They are so happy because one, I give them, I don't know, 5 or 10 kg of aluminium. They can sell it, they have extra income, they are out from the environment, you're doing something good. So what else you want more? And then obviously as well, similar, the paper bags like the glass bottles, they are not meant to be thrown in the environment. You can shred them, you can reuse them, they can even give them for recycling. So please start segregating at home. It's very simple. Make 3, 4, 5 boxes for each of them. Get a barrel, a composting barrel. I got mine as well. I didn't throw any kind of food waste the last 4 or 5 years. I kept it there, it becomes soil, and the soil I can use for the planting inside or outside, or even just put it near the road. So at least we are enhancing as well the quality of soil here in Bahrain, which is unfortunately not the best. So now I have a quiz for you. So I put here now 4 figures, and I want the audience to tell me what kind of waste these 4 figures are standing for, please. What is 2.1 billion tons? What is 1.3 billion tons? What is 1.1 billion tons? And what is 50 million tons? Don't be shy. Just throw some words. Open your mic.
Okay, 2.1 billions. It's plastic, actually.
No, but a good try. Okay, somebody else?
$50 million tons are polythene bags.
No, no, but good try, good try. Somebody else, please. Okay, since there's silence, we will continue. This is 2.1 billion tons is the general household waste. Okay. Then we have here in Bahrain also a lot. Food waste, 1.3 billion every year. And the food waste actually is enough to feed everyone on the planet. So the amount of food we are throwing would be enough to feed all the people in the world who are hungry and starving from hunger. So this we need to put seriously in our mind. Then we have got the construction waste is approximately 1.1 billion tons. And last but not least, 50 million tons. It's a quite small amount currently, but it's increasing every year by 2.5 million. The e-waste, which has a big, big value because there's copper inside, there's gold inside, there's silver inside, and different kind of other minerals which are required for developing or producing mobiles, laptops, iPads, and whatever. So now we know general waste, food waste, construction waste, and e-waste. Now we do it the other way around for Bahrain. Now you're telling me the facts about Bahrain on the general waste, the food waste, the construction waste, and the e-waste. Somebody has some numbers, please? Just give some numbers. What is your assumption? Don't be shy. Just throw some numbers. See, we're producing daily, every one of us is producing daily some stuff. So you should at least throw some numbers. Have a little idea maybe. Okay, no comments? Maybe you will be surprised.
Okay, it's 3.5 kg per day per
Yes.
family.
Yeah, per person actually, but it's a good one. It's a good one. So we have 1.5 million tons. So this is actually roughly 2.53 kg because we are also 1.6 million people. So over the year, it's 1.5 million tons of general household waste what we are producing in Bahrain. Now you can imagine 1.5 million tons. 1 ton in average is usually 1 by 1 by 1 meter, 1 cubic meter. So now you can try to imagine how much is 1.5 million tons. This 1.5 million cubic meter. And this is every year. That's why later on there's some statistics about ASCA. We will be quite surprised. Then food waste. Anyone, any idea? Nobody?
5 million.
We're talking about Bahrain, huh? We
About
have
half of the solid.
Yeah, I have 220,000 tons of food waste every year in Bahrain. And now imagine 220 tons of food waste. Now we have a pandemic, we have people who are out of work, and we are still throwing a lot of food, which we think, oh, it's faulty, it's expired date, and all this kind of stuff. It's really, really ridiculous. And I want to ask one question. Did any one of you see an apple or a tomato or a cucumber or a yogurt or a milk with a watch? Like, you know, with a watch?
No.
So how does the fruit know when to expire? You know, this expire date is a trick from the industry. Because when the milk is, let's say, expiring on the 31st of August, you think the next morning, and 1st of September, suddenly the whole milk is expired? No, of course not. It depends, obviously, how you treat the food. And you can, if you cool it and keep it cold and dark, that's why actually the fridge inside is cold and dark. Dark, we have doubt because once we open it, there's light inside, right? But I think when we close it, it's usually dark. So the thing is, expire date doesn't mean actually anything. It's just an indication that at this time, the quality guaranteed by the producer is 100%. I had in my fridge yogurt from 2017. And it still tastes the same because yogurt already is expired milk, correct?
Almost it is 3 years.
Yes. And they did actually last year, no, not last year, a few years back, they did some tests in Germany with milk powder. It was also in a magazine, in a TV magazine. They had a can of milk powder from 1950 and one from, I think this was 2015. They open it, they check the quality, and both qualities the same. Because there's no chemical reaction into canned food. For a chemical reaction, for fouling or expiring, you need light and O2. So if anything is without light and without O2, which is the canned food, they are actually almost indestructible. You know, in the military, what they're using canned food for the survival for I don't know how many months outside in the war. So don't rely on the expire date. If you have an apple, cut out the little brown stuff or the cucumber, check it by yourself. If you feel comfortable, which means you can eat it. It's not about the expire date, believe me. So now enough of the food waste, construction waste, please.
But psychologically, people are scared about the expiry date.
Yes, but you can try it by yourself. Everybody of us was a kid, we were eating mud in the sandpit. Did we die? No. So if you eat even a piece of foul apple, you will not die from it. You know? And apple you can easily check. Cucumber you can check. Tomato you can check. Even milk. You smell on it. If it smells sour, okay, you make yogurt from it. You don't need to even give it away. You make yogurt from it. And if it's still okay, then you use it. What is the problem? With the eggs, you know, you put it in the water, in a glass of water. If the egg is still on the ground, it's still okay. If it's floating, it becomes rotten. You can give it for composting. Even though the expire date sometimes might be 1 week already, still the egg is floating on the ground of the glass. You can still eat it. Nothing harms to you. So be always aware of the expire date. So let's continue with the construction waste. Any idea? No engineers here? So we have 140,000 tons of construction waste every year. And later on, you will be surprised of the figure. What is the value of this one? Any idea about the e-waste? Because everybody has now 2 or 3 mobiles, 2 or 3 laptops. How many iPads and tablets? TVs as well. In every room, 1 TV. So we have in Bahrain roughly every year 18,000 tons of e-waste. And this consists again of silver, gold, cobalt, and different kind of minerals which are imported, and they are mainly thrown actually and become then useless. So here some facts about the landfill, which has a volume of 3.5 million cubic meter as a surface. Actually, it's now extended because obviously it's almost full. That's why the people are actually panicking. And 40 to 45% is construction waste, which is approximately 40 million BD. This 140,000 tons have a value of actually, let's say, 2 to 3 high-rise buildings. And in 10 years, roughly 1 billion BD was thrown as a value. You know, if you see the value of what is thrown, it has 1 billion BD. And this is, you should imagine, you have 100 million every year, 100 million divided by 1.5 million. So everyone is throwing at least average 80 BD away every year. 80 BD. It sounds not as much for each individual, but if you collect it all together as a amount, it's calculated 10 years, 1 billion BD. Imagine. So what are the requirements? We need to have, first of all, capacity building, awareness, education, and knowledge. These are the key aspects of what people need to understand. Even though you have regulations in place, you have technology in place, if you don't have a knowledge how to use a technology, how to segregate, then all the technology, all the information and the legislation become useless. So we definitely need to have capacity, awareness, education, and knowledge. This is a key. Without this, even the recycling will not work. Then obviously we need to have rules and regulations with punishments and incentives. So we need to have some benefits for the people who are following. And of course, harsh punishment. For example, what they do in Dubai, when they catch the guy who throws some stuff, he's forced to clean it. He will be documented and he will put on the front page of the newspaper. So for sure, nobody want to have this one. So better not to throw things. And then obviously, you need as well the different kind of technology, which is the recycling facility, waste to energy, the oil, cooking oil collection. So there's a lot of things which need to be implemented. But as I said, the first thing is awareness, education, knowledge, and building capacities so you can even spread the word as well. So actually now I want to show you a short clip which is actually a reflection of what we are doing towards the nature and towards the environment. It's a short movie clip. It's a little bit scary, but nevertheless, it's interesting to see. It's a human experiment, actually. This guy, he was locked in one nice apartment for 1 week.
Just coming here, was a little bit apprehensive.
You know, very nice, lovely blanket, very comfy and these things, but he doesn't know what will happen. So the next day, they do what? They take away the food because we are making it difficult for animals to find food. So they took away his food.
And there is a lot less food.
Huh?
When you've had your food like limited, all you can do is think about food.
Day 3, what's next? They take away the furniture. Because, why? Because every week an area of a forest of the size of London is destroyed by human beings. So we're emptying the home of the animals. We are deleting the areas.
More like prison cell. We've literally moved from like food being rationed to very simple living.
Very simple living, huh?
These things taken away, you actually realise what it feels like. I am apprehensive about what's going to happen tomorrow because I just feel like.
What's next? What we are doing, we are polluting our environment. So they do the same. By 2050, there could be more plastic in the sea than fish by volume and by weight. So they polluted his home as well. And see, actually, this is clean waste. Huh? It's not smelly and these things. So he's lucky, actually.
My bathroom. It stinks as well. Look at it. We don't need to be using this much plastic. I wish you could go through this. It would wind you up so much. You would never, ever not recycle plastic. 9 bags of plastic.
So what next? Can it be more horrible? So now we have climate change. They put a heater inside the flat, so it becomes more hot. You know, 1 in 6 species are at risk of extinction due to the climate change.
Heater. I'm gonna cook. I think I'm ready to go home now. But everything gets stripped away from you. It's like you have no rights. I don't want to sleep in a lounge. So this is my new home.
So he shifted his mattress from the hot room to the colder room, huh?
And to be honest, I just want it to be over.
The next day, what? They are reducing his living space like we are reducing the animal habitat. So they shrink his living space as well.
Found this. We cannot live like this. My first thing is literally get me out that door. That's all I'm thinking about is get me out of this place.
By the way, this is a real experiment, about 6 or 7 days.
It's literally getting hotter by the minute. Let me out. It's not until today that I actually realise the severity of the situation. Every single day, obviously, I've been able to adapt and move room.
Now he's caught in one room, and actually after 6 days, he wanted to get out.
Clean it up. Today,
the effect of plastic in the sea.
Stuck here. Doors locked.
Since 30.
You get stuck, I think.
4 hours, they're not ready. Crown Prince be Prime Minister now.
Stuck, wait. See. Actually, what this experiment shows, and he. I don't know. What this experiment shows, that he want to escape after 6 days, but actually we are caught in the world. We cannot escape, you know. So the idea about this is showing what we are doing actually towards the world, and now we have to feel it by ourselves, and actually step by step the things are coming. Not everybody is really aware of these things, but Yeah. Now the problem is that we really need drastically to change our habit in order to really comply and give everyone or every animal, every piece of nature the chance to live. I don't know what's now happening with the slide. 1 second. If you have any question, please throw your questions, because there are only, I think, 2 slides remaining with some kind of conclusion. Okay. Yes, yes. So yeah, any question from your side? Okay.
Actually, I have a question, Mr. Kai.
Yes, please, Mr. Mahmoud. See, now it's working again.
Can we live without using any type of plastic?
This is a very, very good question, and I have to tell you, unfortunately not. Because, see, plastic is not bad if it's used in the proper way. Like sometimes, you know, in the hospital for sterilization and all this kind of stuff, definitely things are made from plastic are required. And as said, plastic itself has still, after usage, after unpacking and these things, a value because it's made from oil. So the energy which is in the plastic is still can be reconverted either as well in the different kind of technologies into oil and as well into waste to energy to produce energy. So what we are doing as a human, mixing all the waste, this will decrease the value and the efficiency or what can get out from the waste itself. That's why segregation from the day one, once you are producing this waste, most likely happening in the kitchen, segregate as much as possible, you know, like batteries, the e-waste, the copper in the cables, charging cables. There's so much value still inside, but if we mix it, then obviously it becomes difficult to extract, difficult to segregate. But we, as a human, we have it in our hand in the kitchen, or as I said, wherever the waste is occurring, to keep it. Like when I have a food container, aluminium, which I try to avoid as much as possible. There's food remains. I try to eat all the food, or I put the remains in the compost. I rinse the aluminium container, squeeze it, and put it in the bag. And then again, as I said, give it to a poor guy outside, so he will be happy because there is value. We are throwing so much value every day. So segregation is a must. And as said, we cannot avoid plastic because it is as well useful, but we need to treat it as a valuable material once we used it. You know, rather than throwing single-use items and these things. How many plastic cups in the coffee shops with a little bit of water, with a little bit of ice cubes, with a little of, I don't know, cafe latte, then with the straw inside and these things. We are so not mindful towards the segregation, so this must be changed, definitely. So, of course, plastic is useful, but how we treat it, then it becomes our own curse. It will come back to us, definitely. Because at the end, if you think about it, there is no throwing away. It's just relocating from A to B. From your hand in the bin, from the bin to the bigger bin, from the bin to the skip, from the skip to the landfill, and then what? It will come back as microplastic to our food chain. Everything what we throw will come back to us for sure. Any more questions, please? See, I check this nice rubbish queue and the recycling as an answer. Huh?
In developed country, you can recycle plastic easily, but in developing country like India, they cannot just throw. They cannot just. My English just weak.
Yeah, no, it's not only this. This is a very good question. See, everybody talking about developing countries or developed countries. Germany is a quite high developed country, right? And Germany is the biggest plastic waste producer in Europe. They are the fourth or fifth biggest plastic waste producer in the world. Because as you said, the human, not only the Indians, every human, the mind is very weak. In the mind of the German people, and I'm German, I know, I did a lot of research on this matter, the people think that all plastic can be recycled, which is not the fact. So the people, they just buy the plastic wrapped bread, the plastic wrapped XYZ, and here and there. So, and then, okay, we have the same kind of segregation system, but still they are producing more plastic than what can be recycled. And as I said, the average worldwide is like only 5%. That means 95% of all plastic is still somewhere on the planet, in the ocean, in the landfill, somewhere in your neighborhood, or I don't know where. So the biggest issue is, okay, reduce it. As said, you go shopping, take your own bags with you. Sometimes the people, they buy a little piece, like, I don't know, like a small box. Where is it here? And they get one plastic bag for this one. You have a hand, you can carry this one without the bag. Come on, it's not even heavy. So really, really, we need to change this mindset. The reduction is the first step, and it's easy to say no, because if you have your own bag, you know, it's very simple. As said before, you go shopping, you wear your shoes, you go out, you wear your shoes, you wear your t-shirt, you wear your pants. So why you don't take your bag with you? Very simple, and it's not heavy, less heavy than the mobile maybe, and the handbag or whatever. So it's very, very, very simple. So strengthen your mind, and give a shout to the people to make them more mindful. You need to strengthen their mind to be more conscious. They need our help. Somebody else? Any question? No more questions, please. You are speechless or you are shocked? So then, if there's no more question, anyhow, please feel free anytime you have any question related to waste management, resource material. Just 1 second, one slide is missing. There, one slide need to be shown. 1 second, because I want to give you this as a message. See, this from knowing comes caring, and from caring comes change. Only when you know about the issue, you can provide a solution, you can start caring. So this is my message to you. Now you gain, I guess, hopefully, or get more knowledge. So I hope then you will start caring, and then from your caring habits, the change will occur. And I can really highly recommend, only because this is a extract from the movie A Plastic Ocean, as a conclusion of the Plastic Ocean movie, which is about the pollution of the oceans in 20 locations worldwide. So it's not only happening in some specific areas. From knowing comes caring, and from caring comes change. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And as I said, any question, feel free to contact me. We are here to preserve our Mother Nature, because we want our Mother Nature to be treated as our own mother, and we should do it.
For your wonderful presentation. Actually, as everyone is saying through chat box, it is very informative talk. And I just would like to invite our brother Adam Ibrahim for his concluding remarks. Adam is there?
Yes, I am.
Yes, Mr. Kai, I have another opportunity at least to listen to you today and then to give the concluding remarks once again. I missed part of this presentation, but then it is always very useful, no matter how little the part anyone gets from your presentation. Besides, the plastic and its effects on our mother nature, just like you said, it is just beyond imagination. And unless we are able to do something about it, we are all going to be in trouble in the long run.
Yes, unfortunately.
And thank you very much for this knowledge. Actually, I could have loved to ask a question, but I couldn't put my questions together before the time.
Please, quickly, I will give you a short answer.
I'll definitely try to get in touch with you afterwards, inshallah.
Yeah, no worries. Anytime, anyone, please feel free to get in touch, and then we can solve some problems, because we are part of the solution. Actually, we are part of the problem, unfortunately, as well, but we can be part of the solution too.
Sure, if we're ready to follow the guidelines and the advices that specialists like you will give us.
Hello,
So,
Kai. Hello.
I think Abdulaziz Hassani has a question.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, Hassan is here. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Kai, for this lecture. Recently, I heard from the municipality, Miethig, or I don't know which one, that they are going to stop, the plastic table plastic, whatever, dining table in the market, whatever, because they are making another type of plastic where can be extracted, with the environment. Once you throw it, it will be melted, mixed, with the environment, and it will be disappear. The present one is chemical, too much chemical that they cannot be digested by the ground, by the environment, like that.
Yes.
Is this true?
See, first of all, there is no really biodegradable plastic. This is, on the one hand, it's a wrong wording, because, as said, there's no biodegradable plastic, because as it's biodegradable, it's made from organic material. Okay, so which is not harmful for the environment. Still, you should never even mix it, because there are different kind of components. Like you have the compostable plates as well. They are made from I don't know, coconut fiber or sugarcane fiber and these kind of stuff, which is also good, and they will even decompose in nature because they are made from 100% organic material. But these kind of plastics, which they are now promoting, and before I said it, there is this oxo-degradable, disposable. These are all wordings which are confusing the customers. These are not environmental friendly products. The best thing, as I mentioned earlier, avoid it. Why we need actually the plastic? Before, you have the palm leaves mats, which is very easy to clean, reusable, and even if they are broken, then they will for sure decompose because they are made from palm leaves. So it's very, very simple. So we need actually to take a step back and go back to the roots. Like 50, 60 years back, there was no plastic bags and these things. We have, even me, I have some old, what's called the date leaf bags, which are very nice. They have a nice flavor as well, So why not having back to the nature, eating from the date plates and all this kind of stuff. So anything called biodegradable plastic and these things will never vanish. It need to be compostable. Compostable means it can be composted in a composting facility, which right now is not existing really in Bahrain. The good thing on this one is, because obviously we cannot take care of all the humans, if they throw compostable bags, I avoid the word plastic because it's not a compostable plastic bag. It's a compostable bag. At least it's not harmful for the environment. If animal eat it, at least they can digest it. But it need to be 100% organic, you know. So I will be very, very careful. And whenever they have this oxo-degradable and disposable and these things, these has nothing to do with environmental friendly products.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Khan. Once again, thank you for you accepted our invitation. Within short notice, you come up with the good topic and presented well, as everyone said. And as usual, we would like to thank once again who introduced you, Brother Sulaiman Patel, and those joined, Muhammad Irshad, Amina Sayed, Basha, Abdul Aziz Hazani, Meena, Kausar Iqbal, Tabassum Fatima, Taharim Ansari, Tasnim Banu, Vinos Hisham, I think, Aisha Nihara, Muhammad Yusuf, Ahmad. Some are joining in their full names, and Sahir Kamal, Mukhtar Hanan, Muhammad, Layla, and respected brother Adam Ibrahim also. Once again, thank you all for joining. See you in some other time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you and have a plastic-free evening. Thank you so much.
Have a nice